Good evening, one and all. Myself, G. Nagaraju, on behalf of this program team, welcome you all to the last day of ASAT sponsored a one-week national level online short-term training program on innovative teaching and learning methods for inspiring students. From 12th to 17th October 2020, organized by ECE Department, SRKR Engineering College, Bhimavaram, Andhra Pradesh, India. It is a great pleasure and honor to welcome today's resource person for this session, Dr. SRN Reddy Garu. I also feel honored to invite Sri S.V. Rangaraju Garu, Secretary and Correspondent of SRKR Engineering College and management members of SRKR Engineering College Association, Dr. M. Jagapati Raju Garu, Principal of SRKR Engineering College, Dr. BVSSN Raju Garu, HOD of ECE, Dr. P.V. Ramaraju Garu, Professor, Chief Coordinator for this program, heads of different departments, deans, and all the participants. I welcome you all. We shall soon begin our session. Topic of this session is to train the teachers in outdoor education for personal, social, and relational development. Eminent speaker of this session is Dr. SRN Reddy Garu. Before we begin the session, once again, I would like to announce few guidelines to the participants. E-certificates will be provided to those participants only who attend all the program sessions with more than 80% of attendance and provide feedback daily. Please mute your mic and video while the speaker is presenting. Use hand raise feature and unmute your mic only when your name is called for a question. If you have any doubts or questions, post them in the chat box. Now I invite Mr. B. Sanjay to introduce the speaker of this session, Dr. SRN Reddy Garu. Please, Sanjay.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Sanjay, working as Assistant Professor in ECE Department, SRKR Engineering College, Bhimavaram, Andhra Pradesh. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce and welcome our speaker today, Dr. S. Ramanarayan Reddy Garu, who is going to talk about the innovative teaching and learning practices. Dr. S. Ramanarayan Reddy Garu is working as a professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department, Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University for Women, Delhi. He is currently acting as a Dean Examination Affairs, IGDTUW. He has awarded PhD in the area of embedded systems design in 2009 and MTech degree in 2002 from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. His research interests includes engineering education, embedded systems design, mobile architecture and programming, and IoT. He has published more than 80 research papers in various international journals, conferences, and published a couple of books. He filed 8 Indian patents along with his research team and collaborators and transferred the patented technology, My Smartphone Kit, to the industry for commercialization. He is principal investigator in 6 externally funded sponsored projects by Microsoft, Intel, and Nokia, and co-principal investigator for 2 MHRD sponsored projects in collaboration with IIT Delhi, IIIT Delhi, and completed 6 projects successfully. He established the state-of-art embedded and product design and IoT Innovation Lab in collaboration with Intel, Microsoft, Nokia, ATMEL, ARM, MHRD, etc. to provide the quality of education research with a practical approach towards entrepreneurship. He has received several equipment grants from Intel, Nokia, Microsoft, ARM, IT, to name a few, and received international travel fellowships from Intel twice. He has conducted more than 50 workshops or training programs on mobile architecture and programming, IoT, design and development of smart devices for industry, faculty members, and students. He has conducted few tutorials in the national and international conferences and delivered several expert lectures or keynote sessions. He has more than 20 years experience that includes research, industry, teaching. He is a member of CSI, VLSI Society of India and AMIE and guided several MTech students and PhD students. He received the fellowship from Intel to visit and present his work in USA and Taiwan. He also received an award from Intel for his contribution and promoting technology in higher education. He was one of the founder directors of IGDTUW Anveshna Foundation Section 8 company and acting director of ETI Labs Private Limited, a startup company at IGDTUW. He has published several course development manuals along with the research students. Today, we are privileged to have an opportunity to listen to him this evening. I am sure we will be enriched by this program. On behalf of all gathered here, I welcome you, sir, to this literary evening of the HTTP program. Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay, for your kind introduction.
Thank you, sir.
May I request to share my screens? Let me do that. Yeah, is my screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind introduction, Mr. Sanjay. It is a pleasure to me all the time there is any invitation from SRKR College. It is, I feel that it is my responsibility to take up in a positively and provide the support, being many reasons that you will see through the presentation. I must also thank the entire management, the head of the departments, the coordinators, and the teachers who put this program successfully for all 6 days and organized with their contributions and across the good experts for the entire program. I have been to the various speakers who has presented. Unfortunately, I could not able to attend due to the various constraints as the dean examinations at our university and many other responsibilities, but still I could take up time to present my talk on train the trainers or train the teachers in outdoor education with the 3 relations, that personal, social, and relational development. I think this was a kind of new topic to me, which I never had earlier, though we do many other events. But then I accepted by the invitation, but I then going into the topic, I really find what to talk about. So I looked into the Google it, some of what exactly mean by outdoor education, and train the trainer we've been doing for quite a long time, but what exactly the outdoor education means it with reference to personal, social, and relational development. I really find it that it could be a new way that many of us could be doing these activities. Then I thought of, let me put, so probably I may spend around 15 to 20 hours to prepare my slides for this presentation and thought of what to be done and what not to be done. And then within the time frame, though they mentioned long back, unfortunately, I could take it a little more, but then I never, all the time I see this last minute, up to last minute, I try to add on to the slides in order to bring the good quality and good information. So therefore, I must thank the HOD of the department for giving this opportunity being. I also find that in this direction, what should be the outdoor education mean it? and how one has to impart, what is the merits and what is the demerits, and is it required for the Indian context, and if so, how the institutions and the government should support. If not, what could be the limitations, and how could you be a self-reliance in order to achieve it, and what kind of merits that we are able to get with this. And I'm going to put all my personal experiences in this. Maybe I picked up a couple of slides and modified from the Google, but otherwise I try to add as much as possible my own experiences in order to take this session forward. If you have any questions at any point of time, please stop me and I can able to clarify. Though the agenda I wrote it almost 10 days back, but I tried to change in between, so probably it may not fit exactly in the same way that I have been doing, since it was quite difficult for me to organize the social respects, social development, personal relationship development, and the relations with various case studies that I had. So I try to put, I will be covering in the entire what exactly mean by outdoor education. Earlier, before this topic, I may be doing informally, but formally I was not doing. So I also learned from this topic while doing for you what exactly it mean and how formally it could be done, though we've been practicing almost 15 years now. And then how it should be the social relevance to the this topic. Therefore, I will be taking certain question answers at the end so that to improve further. Now, let me begin with what exactly mean by an outdoor education. So this was a slide. I have taken it from Wikipedia and some references. I have looked into this because earlier I also never experienced what exactly mean by outdoor education in our context here. Training the students and training the teachers, and that to the outdoor education, it means it is experimental learning in for about outdoors. When I say it is outdoors, I may be it is perceived it in very differently in very different dimensions. For example, in medical, the outdoor education altogether is different. In especially when I talk about electronics or computers, ITC, outdoor education has a different context. When we talk about social sciences and environmental scientists, outdoor education is all about different. And then if you talk about higher education, outdoor education is slightly different. But when you talk about the school education, it is different, have different contexts. Of course, the fundamental principle is how do you take away from the classroom and talk about the learnings, and that to a teacher, and what kind of benefits that one can get. So maybe my talk could be slightly blended at different places in order to merge with the context of computer science and electronics together with the reference to train the trainers and students in the respect of outdoor education. Therefore, it has a many interpretations at different levels, cultural, psychologically and socially and local conditions. The definitions are slightly varying, so you may be referred different contexts. So I referred personally in the entire presentation by looking into the ICT, which is my main area of thrust, to explain the context of outdoor education with reference to train the teachers. So the major aim of this outdoor education is learn how to overcome adversity. I think we've been practicing many times, and most of faculty members or teachers, researchers, we try to experiment in the labs to an extent to see the proof of concept. But we fail when we take it to the outdoor, maybe the real fields, the real environment. So therefore, you need to learn those diversities in the external environment with the context of outdoor. So outdoor is going to provide you such kind of environment, outdoor education. It also enhances personal and social development, and thereby, just because of this, I am here presenting this talk in reference to SRKR College ECE department, because I've been to their institute for one of the event, and there almost 10 years back, and from there onwards, the relationship, the social and also personal relationship has developed, and therefore several events have been followed after that. Develop a deep relationship with the nature and other stakeholders. As I mentioned that when you be away from your labs, away from your home, you will see how people are deeper. I'm sure due to lockdown, we are all away from the actual environments. I'm sure that very soon we will come back, and I request the department this invite some one day for outdoor education to a practical trip to the Bhimavaram, where the hotels there, the good temples, the good rivers, and good institutions, and the cultural aspects could be practically witnessed. Not only that, there are several problems while you visit, you come across, which could be addressed. And I feel that I strongly urge the department at this point of time, maybe it is not possible, but sooner or later, this program should be a practical, and one day we should be experimenting in outdoors away from the labs and other areas. And then, and there must be, this program must be a success when we actually do the outdoor education. I see in the era of ICT, we might be doing outdoor education, not sitting all of us to an extent, but it's not a real outdoor education. Probably it could be virtual outdoor education. So therefore, in order to better teach and learning experience to impart among the students, among the teachers, it is very, very essential, and therefore it has to be practiced. So we will be going to see how could be these objectives are achieved. And further, the nation every time expecting among all of us that the product designs, innovations should be started at every institute in their own area of research and development. And outdoor education could help us in order to achieve it. And I'm going to present some of these aspects which I came across during my 15-20 years of experience, and that I'm trying to project here. So what do we expect with the outdoor education? Say, I may expect play and exploration. I think the team travels. Some of the team at IGDTW being situated at Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University in Kashmiri Gate, Delhi, close to Red Fort. Many of our students never seen many of the real environments, how the villages are, how rivers are, how aquaculture ponds at Bhimavaram is, and how the food at Bhimavaram is. So therefore, you need to see and exploration come to that when you come across such a different fields. And I've been travel to many other places in Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Mysore, and every place has a different conditions and different food habits, different cultural habits, and the people from Delhi travels to those places and they really experience a diverse experience, and they also learn and they also experiment, and there will be a lot of cultural exchange and social exchange. And of course, whenever they visit us, there will be a lot of motivation, and that will further leads to some innovations, and I'm going to show you in some of the presentations, what kind of motivation we got it, and what kind of explorations we have done in order to innovate some of them. And dialogue and collaboration. I think this is one of the major aspects of outdoor education. I think today I am being, and I'm sure that many of you might be joining just because of the collaboration that might have with some faculty member or some person from SRKR college. Now, this is going to be a means of solving the problem, could be a local problem. Say, many times the students are addresses to some of the normal problems, but they never anticipate or identify the local problems. So I'm trying to explain during the presentation how we could able to identify some of the local problems and try to address. So the outdoor education should expect some local problems to be sorted. Questioning and curiosity will be developed when you really go for outdoor education. I'm sure that we had one of our researchers who never used to interact and smile all the time. When he visited to Bhimavaram, the children asking by saying Anna, Anna. So he never know that what it mean is, but he really felt so. So he learned how to smile actually speaking. So teacher involvement. I think whenever you see a real problems, you do get a kind of organizational skills, kind of behavioral, how to solve the problem. And as a teacher, those skills will be developed when you are away from your normal working environment with your team or with our other collaborators or other stakeholders. So the outdoor education expects these things from any outdoor events. So what kind of outdoor events can be? It could be a field visit. It could be a sort of workshops, maybe a specific topic. Though in literature, it is very rarely mentioned, but to me, in the context of electronics and students of computer science, I do feel this kind of events can be a part of outdoor where you are away from normal classroom and normal labs on any special topics. It could be a visit to see and deployment of any solutions. It could be a normal cultural functions, could be even outdoor education where you discuss with your friends, keeping your peace of mind, discussing the solutions, and that may lead to some of the problem solving. So these are the some of the outdoor events that can be organized. I am sure that you go for some educational trips that is practiced quite long time at various levels of education. That is one example. Some field visits, that could be another example. And deployment and deployment solutions for some of the researchers. And I do feel that some kind of hands-on workshops that you need to organize could also be a outdoor education, at least for the teachers who are coming up. And the people who are taking up, they also experience with the way the others are teaching, the way others are speaking, the food habits others are having, how they are communicating, how culturally they are different. There may be a lot of learnings do happen. Now, why do we need? Probably some of those slides have some commonality. So I do feel that you need a outdoor education in order to build independence. So when the children graduates and teacher need to get a confidence and independence, you need to go for outdoor education, and that will further gives you curiosity to develop and questioning attitude develop, and that is required for any researcher or any student and any teacher in order to grow further. And spatial awareness is also required about the environment and social skills. How do you communicate with the local people, local languages, local culture? And I'm sure that when you travel to the Rajasthan, to the Uttarakhand and to the Bhimavaram, completely there is a all these aspects like the social, the language, the cultural, the food, all those things are going to be different in nature. But then you being at Delhi Are you being at Hyderabad? Are you being at some other place? How do you manage that? And how do you solve those problems, problem solving skills? I think this is one of the most important thing which is to be developed among all of us. And then self discovery, I think this is the most important point. So if I put a question, what am I done in last my career, what did I discover, did I help them in this process? If I could able to put this kind of questions, so I may be able to come across some of those. So one has to do that. Increase self-esteem, I think the self-confidence that one has to build, and that will be that is going to get when you go for outdoor education. Exploration of senses, I am sure that you maybe get a very good physical strength. When our people travel to Bhimavaram, Guntur, Mysore, they felt different experiences in the kind of weather, kind of food, kind of other cultural habits, what the local environments are there. I think team building is another very, very important. I think for me, I could able to do something contribution because of the outdoor education, where that helped me to build the team. I'm sure wherever, whichever the city we go, I say that there are local collaborations, good friends, and where we talk about and exchange the ideas, and that further increases the learning curve. Cross-cultural curricular skills, I think this is also a very important. I could see that whenever I interact with SRKR college and even the other colleges, in IIT Delhi, Triple IT Delhi, and do have the very good quality impact. I mean, there could be some events for IPR generation, product design, skill development workshops, project management, product design, and startups, and these kind of things. When we listen, we able to understand, learn from them, and practice the best practices at local place. I think this cross cultural skills have been developed especially because of the outdoor education, and therefore one has to practice this, even increase the creativity and imagination. So I think if you list out like this, there will be so much of terms that comes across the need of outdoor education to each and every member of this workshop, be it a student, be it a faculty, even be it a family member. They also need an outdoor education. Therefore, you try to go for some movies or to go to visit some other places to feel yourself from the stress or feel yourself relaxed. So I think this has been practiced quite a long time in differently at different places. I think we need to look into this in terms of that. So there are differences towards culture, classroom culture and outdoor classroom culture. I think we all know that certain differences which we mean it. When we talk about the classrooms, we will be only looking into the context of the syllabus, the context of the look, what is being proposed in that environment. But when we look into the outdoor, you not only concentrate what has to be taught, but you will come across the nature. You can come across some problems. You need to think of for solutions. So all that learning experience is very different. So in a classroom you expect everything, but in an outdoor you won't expect. There may be very unexpected things. That means you do not expect, you do not anticipate. Then you need to think of how do you solve such things and how do you provide the solutions for that. So therefore, you have to see there is a clear differences between cultural classroom culture and outdoor classroom culture. So the limitations in the classroom culture could be the only you need to know the expected things. Intellectual development is limited, physical activities are limited, but if you go for outdoor education, you will be going to see multi-sensor whole child development. When you talk about children, I think this slide I have taken it from the Google. I just pressed this, but I have modified to an extent here. Experiencing the topics and first hand is very good important. So you ever practice in the classroom in the environment of simulations, but you really not experience with the good hands-on and good systems. But when you go to the outdoor, probably I wanted to say one thing. When you see simulations in the missions for mechanical, they only see one or two missions. But when they happen to see to a production plant, I see there's a real variation actually. When you see this in a software development company, go and inside, you really feel how so much different and the culturally different. The way the people behave is completely different. And similarly, you go for an electronic manufacturing industry, the things are all different, which you do in a classroom or in a lab, all are different. So therefore, you have to see at least some part of education, we need to have an outdoor, and that has to be talked about and practiced. So experimental teaching process actually knows from you need to have a knowledge on any topic. Okay, then I thought of actually given this particular topic to me, I really know what exactly I need to talk about. So I know what kind of events I've been doing. Then I Google it. Oh, I understood that this mean it as an outdoor education. Then I try to organize my entire. I did planning what has to be done, and then I also done the implementation. I asked some of my research scholars, can you please share me some photographs of whatever some events that I have done. So I just taken up to implement and create some of the slides, and then reflection and discussion. Of course, I myself looked into that. Is it done? Then I several iterations slides has been made such a way that the entire process of experimental teaching on the same topic has been really done. So my planning was almost 20 days. I thought of what to be done because it is new to the topic, is not normal engineering subject or a research area, but then you need to mold to a general topic with that case study. So I took completely the same cycle in order to really do this particular talk. So as a teacher, what is the responsibility? I mean, why one needs to do? And this is the most important for all of us being teachers and this faculty development program. Technical skills. I'm sure that I could able to learn and practice and get these technical skills just because of the outdoor education. So, my dear friends, outdoor education really helps you to improve your technical skills. Outdoor living, actually, we spend at least every year, I used to spend 15, 20 days at least in outdoor, maybe more than month at least completely, where most of the places when I visited. And I spend really and move there and understand the problems and try to correlate in my research area. I see this. You should be a safety when you are traveling. Of course, when you go for outdoor education, you need to have technical skills and outdoor living experience you need to have. Of course, you also need to practice the safety. I'm sure that you should be moving with children. You should say that the local food habits, being it is tasty, they should not eat more food. And we've been also experiences certain difficulties when we travel. So safety is also very important. And environmental skills, I know that when people travels to Rajasthan, it was so hot, and if the people travels to Uttarakhand, it is so cold. I mean, there should be those environmental factors has to be considered, and you need to be a teacher taking the students or faculty members. You need to be having such kind of responsibilities and facilitation. I am sure that when they get a problem, you need to take the local help and you need to facilitate, as you are a leader of this program and you are one who is leading. And therefore it also gives you a leadership qualities. I'm sure that the leadership qualities enhances through the outdoor education. The other important points, you should respect the environmental ethics. So whenever you travel to other places, you should respect the culture, and you should also give the due importance for the Green India or all other Clean India and Green India. And of course, when you are traveling, you need to spend some time to get the knowledge about the places, new places if you are moving, and new, let's say you may be going for some kind of hill climbing, some kind of rock climbing, for example, river rafting. So you should have such an experiences in those kind of outdoor events. Otherwise, you should be facing so much of issues. So translation and innovation skills, as I mentioned that, when the major idea about that, we have already mentioned what could be the aim of the outdoor education. But as a teacher, you should be able to translate some of those things into a innovations and into your product designs as well. So that is the responsibility of a teacher when you go for an outdoor education, and these things has to be keep in mind, and that will lead to the further expected outcomes as we mentioned it. Now I'm moving to the some of the case studies what we have done in the outdoor education, and so one of the work, aqua parameters real-time monitoring and controlling system. I think this was the first one. I think this could be the second one, which we have done the patent in 2016. Um, I think I visited in 2016 to Bhimavaram when I got some invitation for as an expert speaker to chair some event in some international conference. I forgot really. At the time, I took one day extra time to see Bhimavaram because in a new area, you go there, you do not know when you really come. So all the time I traveled from Delhi to Bhimavaram. Along with me, one more external expert was traveling. So we've been provided by a good car from airport. So we met together and we saw that was the first experience to me to see the coastal belt. I saw that ever the greenery, and every time you could see right hand, there is some ponds, the water is spilled. I was really do not know what exactly the water is spilling. What is this? I know that it is a pond, but then why they're doing it? So I found then even the other expert, I asked them, he also do not know. But then the driver who was there and I asked them, he tell me that, sir, this is the aerators and this is there for to improve the oxygen level, dissolved oxygen level in the water so that the prawn or fish could live. After the event of technical event, then some of the professors known to me and personally visited, and they took me with their car to their fields. So I told explicitly, sir, I wanted to see what is this, and I want to visit the some of the ponds. So they took me to their some relatives' ponds, and I've been there. I saw that. I asked that what parameters, what are the problems, and then we come across in the discussion, unless we travel to that particular place as an outdoor, if I only looked into the my technical event and come across after that, probably this research work and this collaboration work would not have happened. So with their support and their kind collaboration, we could able to formulate and made the next day complete visit to their bigger farms, and we looked into that, what kind of problems there the farmers are facing. And I may take 5 minutes break, please. Sir, I just wrote a mail, sir. अभी उनका reply नहीं आ रहा है, sir. I'm just calling again, sir. ठीक है सर, मैं उनसे बात करके फिर आपको कॉल करूंगा सर. सर वो थोड़ा डिस्कस करके वो लेटर हेड पे देने के लिए सर मैंने और दोबारा फॉलो कर लेते हैं सर. आपको अपडेट करूंगा सर मैं. So I think then with the interaction, we formulated a problem, and then we visited IARI, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, done several field trips and discussed with their fishery department and the senior scientists. And then we formulated a problem statement, and that led us to a PhD, and that led us to an IPR. And also, we are trying to build some kind of solution to solve this local problems. And further, a good collaboration between SRKR College and Bhimavaram, and also from IIT Delhi to an extent, has been established. So I wanted to say that this is one of the experience that we have gained to the outdoor education. And I wanted to say here, not only me, that the professors from the college is deeply involved in collaborative work and paper writing, and also establishing some kind of infrastructure lab at their place in order to take up further, and the work is under the progress at SRKR College also, in order to really deploy the solution to the end users. So I wanted to say that one of the objective was that it should lead to the collaboration and should enhance the innovations, and this is one of the witness for that. And of course, it led us a strong, good friends, and many students, at least 10 to 15, 20 students of IGDTW has visited there. And I'm sure that around 5 to 7 faculty and faculty members of SRKR College visited here as well. But yes, we were actually planning this time before COVID, a big event where a lot of participation from SRKR College as a team we were expecting, but unfortunately we could not. But still, we could able to meet at regular workshops, events. So therefore, whenever you get an unexpected situations, you also need to have a standby plan, and that standby plan is coming up with this kind of virtual classrooms, virtual meetings. And I'm sure that we are still connected in a different way. Not only way in the process, there are other schools. We visited several schools in Bhimavaram, and we also visited some research stations there. And we also, I also visited personally most of the environmental departmental labs. So whatever the learning, it is not that all the time I made them to learn, rather I also learned many things. So outdoor education, to me it is an outdoor, and to me it is a field visit. And of course, probably when they visit to IGDTW, it also their field visit, and they spend all the time, almost 6 weeks here for some of the training programs which we have conducted, and that helped them to establish and practice some of the best practices here been following, and further enhancing the faculty skills and student skills to get the objectives of the institute to met. So the second area is the remote health. Exactly. Sometimes it is not only that you need to visit all the time away from your workplace, but many things do happen at the next door, but you do not know. I do not know some of the departments here in the university may not know what am I doing. And some people know what all I'm doing it, but unless you are interested, you may not be knowing and those things. So earlier, maybe around 7 years, 6 years back, we got some parent here to the university, and I was the head of the department, came with some problem of her daughters. And my daughter is not good, she is facing certain issues, so kindly help me. Then I was in the discussion with the parent, and I came to know that he is a doctor from the one of the reputed institute, and when he was finding certain problems, so then we've been having some solutions. So that collaboration, my students, MTech students, visited RML hospital in Delhi during for their MTech thesis, Then the student at the topper, I think I will be knowing. See this, C is the PhD student. Uh, C is Miss Jonal. C has just completed PhD Viva yesterday in the same topic, remote health on congenital heart diseases in newborn babies. So her work actually a collaborative work from RML Hospital, and we had a long collaboration with the support of the doctor. We could able to get a lot of help, and we could able to deploy the solutions, and we could able to get the feedback from them. And because many cases you as a researcher, you as a teacher may not solve all the problems, so therefore you need to visit other places. It could be a within the city or outside city, or it could be a within the department, or it could be even outside the department of SRKR college, from CSC to mechanical. I know I know there are very good professors from mechanical department. Unfortunately, sometimes they will not recognize. And similarly, we may not be recognized in your local skilled people, but that is certain things. No, you do not notice the what is the best thing that you have it. Probably, we should do that and encourage that. So therefore, when we do this kind of product design, uh, we are able to deploy at around 30 different tertiary health centers to get the data. So it is primarily, you could see here, we were actually not knowing this is a 3D printed device. How the collaboration, how outdoor education led us. So many times we visited IIT Delhi. The senior experts, professors, kind enough, they also travel many times here at IGGTW, delivered workshops, visit our labs. We also spend many days at their workplace. And then we learn the best practices from them. And the labs we have visited, the equipments which they have, I think for product designs, we also replicated here with the collaboration projects that we have along with IIT Delhi for from the MHRD to make this what you are all saying. So whatever you are seeing here, the outcome, the products which could be made, it could be due to the industry collaborations, which outdoor education led us to do when we participated in various training programs or various their events. That led us to get a lot of equipment grants, a lot of financial support, and not that it is mentorship do, and that could be one of the great help with outdoor education could able to provide. So today, all this work is being created, developed within the lab, be it a 3D printing that you are looking. You could see here the PCB manufacture, PCB design, which you are looking here. And there are the products which as a complete, all has been done within the lab of IGGTW, but then the student took for various purposes. So what I wanted to convey here is the problem formulation has happened just because of the discussion and collaboration. And that is just because of the outdoor, because the doctor is visited here. Then many times we visited the hospital, and even a week before, uh, after COVID, I mean, when lockdown, Corona started, I was first time traveled to 6-7 months back to the Corona hospital. I could see there the situation, and we had another discussion for some other problem statement. So you need to be a problem solver, as we said, the qualities of a faculty. As I feel that I'm a faculty for an outdoor education if I'm going, and I took along with my students, so I should educate the best practices. Then I also should see this kind of collaboration and see the entire process that should have been happened. So the takeaway from this is that finally, to an extent, proof of concept of the solution with the real-time deployment has been developed for a sensor body area network, and deployable solution to an extent has been created, and we are extending that with some other student. Now, I think moving on to this, as I already mentioned that. So when I visited to Bhimavaram very first, we discussed that, and this was the first prototype that we done it in the lab. I think this is a pH sensor, and there is a I think this is a, turbidity sensor. I think other sensors are outside the area. So this we have our testing in the lab. Does it actually measures in the system or not? When this is being tested here, and then we translate it into a working model with solar power, the design has been done, but it was a very difficult to deploy it in the field. So when the researcher thought, as this was the first thought process we had, but that was not survived, then we moved to the next one, and it is not deployable. And we moved it to the next one, which was 16 kilo of weight we are trying to put in the box. And in fact, this box was bought at the Bhimavaram. We moved to that. Of course, the other equipment we could try take it from the Delhi, but this still we remember. We visited there some mall. I do not know what mall it is, so we could able to buy suitably. Of course, here we visited. Then the local collaborations we got it that these boxes are available here. You don't need to buy that. But then we could able to get in. Then finally, you could see the solution has been deployed. So now I wanted to make your comment. Is it not that we could able to do all together, all alone? In any outdoor, you need to have a very, very strong collaboration, local support, mentorship, and of course, the financial support. And of course, the permissions from the government and to the institute. So these are the some of the challenges you also need to face in outdoor education. But as a result, the researchers, could able to get, and I'm sure that this work comes on so many papers in local newspapers when we have conducted. And this is not that one day job. I think it is 2-3 years field visits has been done in this experimental work. So I said outdoor education is primarily focusing the experimental work in the outdoors. To us, it is really an outdoor, and it is an experimental, and it is deployed. And I think still some of the nodes are there. We deployed some of the nodes in SRKR college pond itself, but then we moved it to the actual pond where farmers are cultivating it. Now, and that is the learnings we got it from this. And similarly, we wanted to have the environmental. I think this was you also need to learn from the environment. I think last 2 years summer, 2 years summer here in Delhi was on the news. That was environmental, the pollution, and it was a high alert. So many cities, and Delhi especially, very high alert. So we felt that can we do some kind of collaborative research work? And there we started the environmental sensing. So many times people work in the data sets and so on and so forth, but IIT Delhi has also started at the same time some environmental monitoring, but then we also started to an extent to deployable solution. Then we come across these are the parameters that we could able to measure it. And then we just not stop there. You could see here, we visited IIT Delhi and deployed the solution. We visited the JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, and then deployed the solution. We deployed our solution here also. You please see here. This is actually a new node. We also deployed, probably if you visit us, this node is still might be there in the lab of SRKR College, Bhimavaram. And that is the kind of collaboration we had. And you could see this, these institutions where we also collaborated, and our dream is that all such institutions, many more we have done it, but I could not able to had enough time to do so. So there are many other places we deploy, and then trying to create the valuable information and share that to those researchers further. So here I wanted to take had it been, it is not an outdoor education, my researchers would not have got some idea. When we visited the JNU campus, there was a network connectivity issue. Sometimes the nodes were working and sometimes they were not working. And even that was an experience when we got it from IIT Delhi campus. But in JNU, the environmental department has a very big building. When we kept it, there was a lot of network issues coming up. But then we resolved those issues and deployed here with a different technology. So we will be learning with practical aspects when you go away with the outdoor. And that is one of the beauty of outdoor education. And I'm sure we've been doing, but we never thought that we've been doing outdoor education. When the topic comes to me, I must thank Raju sir, who has given me. So sometimes the God gives you so many things. You need to work and do working on the path you will learn. And that is what we have been following for quite a long time. So the other beauty on this, another important aspect I wanted to point out, when this outdoor education been practicing without knowing actually, we came across many places when we visited. There is a startups, even in SRKR college, you visit maybe around 20-25 startups. They have an incubation center. Then ours is a very new university, started in 2013. Earlier it was a college, but there was no much. We were part of Delhi's other university. Now we are independent university. So when we became an university, we got new courses, and then incubation center is also started. So I think I was one of the founder director of Innovation Foundation, and then I wanted to be also a director for one of our companies. So we all the time say, you produce, you serve, but then let me do first and then experiment. So again, as a teacher, you should have a quality of experimental learning. So rather saying in a classroom, you manufacture, you sell it, let me do first and then tell to my fellows, my students, and my researchers. So that's what the one has to have as a teacher, to have a with the good quality. I feel every one of us should do that, and then make in India do happen. So we get to know that when we visit IIT Delhi, there was almost 100 companies. The professors all the time say, Professor Reddy, why don't you translate? You have made a good product, a good design. So why can't you start a startup? With their motivation, I also mentioned that you need to have a good mentorship. So with their mentorship, we could able to really float a company with the support of our own researchers, which is named ETLMIS-oct2020 Limited. Even in Corona, we could still serving and doing the work without any problem. And just because of the core domain knowledge that we have in the field. So the other thing which the outdoor education will lead it to you is the experimental study. It could be the new dimension that the entrepreneurship also may lead it as the outcome of the outdoor education. So I wanted to keep this as one of the outcome of the outdoor education. Had I been not practicing this, we would not have achieved that. So I request the participants to do so, and this is the need of the hour, a need of the country, a need of the current situation. So please experiment. I see that there are several projects which student projects have been translated into the commercial. So I just named a couple of products. So the complete product design which we have done. So I think you could see there is one more area I could not able to touch on, soil sensing. You could say this is also a case where we deployed in Bhimavaram. Though we did it here in Delhi, IRI, some places, we also deployed for a the researcher at Bhimavaram pond, and this is coconut trees actually from the SRKR pond. Really, probably those who have not visited due to this, they have their local pond. We used to spend at evenings sitting there, and that is outdoor education. I used to travel, go to walk many days when we stay there, and also as I mentioned that you will also learn the good cultural food habits. So my in the last uh, one of the FDP we've been conducted by ETL Labs at I think that was organized in the CSC department, and we all our people are saying, so we are eager to come to Bhimavaram to have a good food. So I think it is something, the food also. And whenever we've been there, the kind of hospitality they show us, that is the cultural aspects. I think I took this as a case study, and not only this, and there are many other institutions we have similar work, but this could stand at the first. So therefore, I took this. So the outdoor education really gives you these kind of benefits, and I'm sure that being we are social animals, and you should be social, and that should be practiced, and that led to you a certain good giveaways. So it is not only to me, but then we try to provide the end users some solutions, and some of the products also led us for smart education and industry 4.0, many more other solutions. So I wanted to say there was one more work which we have really done. I'll just correlate. This is the product design. So this is the complete picture of practice in conducting the several labs. In fact, in the last visit to the Bhimavaram, we did this study for almost 200 students. They got the very good feedback on the methodology that we have taught, experimented practically, and I'll be covering this little detail in the latest slide. So I think this I have already covered. Now, I just kept some slides here and there. Let me figure out how do I achieve it in order to get the outdoor education possible. See that you have to be a source of food fund generation. It is, and you should have a good number of projects, and you should not all the time expect the college or institution should provide. You should also be a fund that should be generated or received to the institute. So all the equipment recently you could see 3D printer, laser cutting machine, soldering station, stencil printer, SMT reflow oven, SMT pick and place machine. So today we could able to manufacture for any outdoor service for the deployments that we wanted to do the locally, and not and SMD based kind of products could also be made, and these could be served to the other people for those who are in collaboration. So we wanted to have a self-reliance, and should be the lab itself should be a company. So that was our dream. And all this equipment, some equipment like SMD pick and place and SMD reflow oven, and this is a new equipment we brought it to make the SMD based PCB manufacturing, and thereby IoT should go in a commercial way. Unfortunately, due to lockdown, though the machines are installed, but we are unable to do the manufacturing due to the various issues. But we are soon going to get rid of and still come back to the normal state. So the infrastructure is very, very essential for outdoor education. When you are planning, you need to equip and create, and then to me, for example, I need to sensor nodes, 100 sensor nodes, 1,000 sensor nodes to be deployed. I need to manufacture. So I need to use those facilities. It could be such a way I need to deploy sensor, the floating sensor nodes for aquaculture. Again, I need to manufacture. So therefore, you need to have such a equipment facility. As a part of that, this is one more outdoor education. Rather, I don't know it is an outdoor education, but I wanted to say here, as the first company when we floated, I think this was the second project we got to the company. What has been done? This is Bharat Petroleum Board. You would see this. When we got an order that no, you need to design a sensor-based kind of product, and that product should display Bharat Petroleum with 600 watts of intensity, power consumption, and around 15 different levels. Now, if we visit Delhi states, I could find the same product which we have deployed is there at Bharat Petroleum. And that is the kind of experience you learn when you go for an outdoor. And had it been not going and started this company, probably I would not have experience. So therefore, my dear friends, the experimental learning helped me to translate further into a real products. And this is one of the real product which is witnessing here in Delhi states and Delhi petrol pumps. I am sure probably in many other places, the vendor. We have not directly given to the Bharat Petroleum, but we were the designers of that. Now, the experimental work, again, further, I wanted to say by the company, we could able to see company means it here one person from independent, one director, Mr. Rachit is independently working with the, as a direct full time. But we also, as you know, research scholar and myself, we try to solve the end user problems by our practical deployments. I'm sure here you could be able to see this red mark. Here is a temperature sensor. So I want to say the experimental learning actually gives you the clear picture how you could able to solve the problem. Problem solving will help experimental learning. Outdoor learning actually. So when we visit this factory in Noida, we found that was eye-opener to me to see so many CNC machines in the floor and neatly maintained for production. And their problem is it was 30 years old CNC machines and has several problems due to aging and do get a maintenance problem. So their issue was that can we able to monitor the health of these machines? That was their problem. So to monitor the health of the machine, probably we looked into that. What are the parameters that I needed? I may probably need this temperature, the noise, and the power consumption and the vibrations of each and every motor which is there. So we deployed the sensors, sensor network there. So if you ask me, in the experimental outdoor learning, I just see this the sensor we use in the lab probably cost me 10, maybe 20 rupees to 200 rupees, depending upon the kind of sensor. But when I wanted to deploy for such an end user for the real deployment, the sensor is costing me about somewhere about 15 to 20,000 because of certain characteristics that it has to be there. So unless I know, unless I visit there, outdoor education as a teacher, it to me as it is a learning and eye opener. And then we might have visited 6, 7 times. And now our solution is completely working. And after looking this product and solution, the company has got one more project from the same MNC. So therefore, my dear participants who are the students or researchers, this is possible because of the experimental outdoor learning to me. Had I been not practicing, I would not have really achieved this. So of course, moving on, some of the stories, I have a lot of videos. I will share some of that in line with this, maybe. I think I have another 30 minutes. Let me take up. So this is my lab, our lab in IGDTW. We have a very big lab. Started in 2013. I was instrumental for all the work, which was earlier library. So ours is a women's university. So all the girl students do come and they do get a very good placements of around 40-45 lakhs with very good JEE ranks. Now, some of the practical work. So how does it leads to me to achieve this? So we start with the practical experimental work in the labs. And while doing, we also try to bring the knowledge to take away our students to IIT many times and take away, at least not possible to take away. We used to share the videos and the experimental learning that we have got from the different field visits to teach in the classroom back. So therefore, we could able to do very good practical work in order to train our students in this. So you could see here the session development of mobile devices and introduction to Intel Galileo Gen 2. So we've been doing some of the sessions. So we definitely collaborate with the other collaborators and try to do the experimental work. Of course, as I wanted to say that in many cases, experimental work in computer science and electronics may not be possible all the time. In outdoors, probably you could take from classroom to a lab or lab to a seminar room or to a field. These are the few things. So we try as much as possible to get into the kind of special training programs, workshops, hackathons. I'm sure many of you might be doing it, the same thing, but you need to bring the knowledge from the field to those programs. And that is one thing you need to train. And of course, it is not only for students, we do so many events for the faculty as well. So research staff demonstrate the experiments. You could say this. Now, we also engage a team. As I mentioned that in earlier my slides, you need to have a team. I think that team could be created based on your outdoors. When the students travels with you, I think sees Miss Nidhi, Jeenath, Sonal, and Jesslyn. They're all our PhD students, and they've been traveled to many places with me, and that teamwork has really made us to deliver the content to many. There are many more pictures, so I could not able to catch, but some of them I could able to show you. So therefore, the team, as I mentioned, that outdoor education will create the team, and this is witnessing to us as well. So then outdoor education as a point I wanted to mention, we travel to many events where it is being hosted by the government, as hosted by some industry, or hosted by some institutions, to showcase our research work, some of the problem statements. So here is the home automation kit that we have made. And here is the my smartphone kit that we have made. And these are the some books that we have developed. These are the some of the lab manuals that we have developed. And you could see here the aquaculture project, the smartphone kit project, the healthcare project, so that this gives you a avenue to showcase for others to train, and also the similar learnings from others to from them to us as well, we are able to get it. So I see there is another way. You may go to some hotel where they organize some kind of display, or it could be a new auditorium, or where this kind of learnings is being practiced, and we try to showcase and participate and disseminate and also get the knowledge out of those places. So I think you could see there's no experimental work will lead to, outdoor education will lead to the experimental work. You could see here, the idea here we are trying to demonstrate is that this is actually a real fan. So one problem that we face normally in Delhi's weather conditions, now it is a winter coming up, but nighttime you need to have a fan running at high speed, still some summer. But when we go at the early mornings, you feel now very cold, but the fan is still running 5, and you will not be able to wake up, and your sleep will be disturbed, and as a result you need to some more time to sleep. To sort out the simple problem, we actually bought a real fan, and we deployed the solution which we try to use for simple training kits for designed by us, so that it automatically measures the temperature and adjust the speed of the fan. So very simple solution, but the problem is you need to use. So we try to deploy and try to use it here. So such kind of, so he is Mr. Ratchet, who has done is one of the director. A lot of work it has been. I think we are demonstrating in some institute. It is not at our own place. I think I do not remember where it exactly. So it is some place where we are trying to demonstrate this kind of practical aspects. So for us, we go to the outdoors to train the faculty and train the students as well. So I think some events at IIT Delhi, which we have done. There are several events. I could not catch much of the video. So some boot camp for the kids have been organized. So we have a very strong collaboration from the professors, from Professor PVM Rao sir from IIT Delhi and Professor M. Balakrishnan sir from IIT Delhi, where they invited Professor Reddy kindly give your team to train the school children. They have a lot of programs. So I think this is the lab at IIT Delhi. We've been given these school kids, they have been picked up by IIT Delhi for some days of training. I think we've been conducted 4 to 5 days. And then we see this, the school kids have participated. For them, it is really an outdoor education. They really see that what kind of sensors are there, what kind of how do the small programming can be done. They're all from government schools only. You will take this. There was the government program. They're not from the public schools. They're primarily from Kendriya Vidyalayas and government schools of Delhi. So such a every year they do, and we try to share our outcome, some kind of resources. I think this has been done in 2018. So this is one of the way where we try to interact with this. So I wanted to say that this is some other program at IIT Delhi. I see this here is Mr. Rachit. I could not go there on the day, so maybe I might have been there some other place. So the students have been trained, and they are showing their happiness, expressing on some of the outdoors. So they are not the IIT Delhi students. They are different students who travel to IIT, and we done in some collaboration with some other people. So our team is also be there. So there are many more such programs. I just picked up some of them to show you. I think JSS Mysore, probably JSS, we have strong collaboration like SRKR College. So we also spend a lot of time with them whenever we get some time to travel. So in Bangalore, several premier institutions we did some programs. So I think this was in 2018, I guess, in summer. Professor Nagabhushan and Dr. Is another faculty. I immediately forgot his name. Uh, so they've been able to do the faculty development program. I think they are some of the participants. They are also team. Uh, so what has been done is here is some products has been designed and shown to them. But I want to have one thing here. I say this is kind of a curiosity you must have. I wanted to point out here the curiosity. I graduated, I mean, I did my diploma in electronics after my 10th. So while I was doing the program at JSS, I have interaction with Vijay Jay Prakash, and the faculty could able to say, sir, we have two polytechnic colleges on the campus. One is physically disabled and other one is the real. So I wanted to know how physically disabled candidates uh, I think if you have any questions in between, because it was a long class, let me know. Otherwise, I will complete my time and then we'll take some questions. So these so these are the physically disabled candidates. So they could not able to, they are hearing impaired people. So we have a very good, I mean, IIT Delhi has a very good assistive technologies lab. We have some collaboration with them. So when I felt that I wanted to visit them and interact them and to learn. So you need to have a curiosity. So I particularly took one more day out of my schedule and completely off day. That was, I think, my marriage day. I still remember. So I spent on that day with the children, interacting with them. It was an eye opener to me that when I was discussing that they are not disabled students, rather I am disabled because I am not able to communicate with them. So such as students of electronics in diploma, how do they learn the electronics? That was my curiosity. And I asked them, I interacted them and discussed with them. And then we found the solution, which I have shown it in a previous figure. So therefore, outdoor education led you to see the practical problems. And this is one of that. So we did not left there. we have provided the solution, and we are going with some more iterations. Unfortunately, due to current situation, we could not able to make our plan to visit, but the solution is made, the product is ready, and we wanted to deploy with this kind of students. And I'll show you. I think this is another place where this is they have another college, regular college, where both the kind of students are there, diploma. And I wanted to see this. Please see this. I've been giving them a kind of a talk. The students are raising their hands. What does it mean is that when they raise their hands, that means they are clapping, because the claps, they cannot listen. And I understand a couple of terms where the hearing impaired students can do. That means they are able to say, uh, they're just clapping that. This is the meaning of. So I just asked that. So you need to see some kind of participation of the students in that play. Now, whenever we do, we also interact with the team of the management to see, and they are the faculty. So how much they learn, how much they really implemented in solving some of the real prototypes there, so that we can able to see how am I able to learn, how the faculty could able to learn, is this learning curve is good for them. So we could understand when we visited there. I see this JSS Mysore, the faculty could able to fastly learn, and we also again experimental taking their feedback and literature. We again use that for some of our studies and research studies. I think again we visited to, this is the KKR and KSR Institute of Technology and Sciences. He is my friend, so he all the time invites. So I visit to their place with along my team. They're all others are my team members. So that's a strong team. They are actually the students. Actually, they were doing at BTech third year. Now they have got very good placements in because of the practical work they do. And she is Miss Mansi, one of the director of ETL Labs. He's Mr. Rachit, one of the director. He was one of the our project staff. So being visited many times here, I wanted to say something. There also we conducted several workshops, practical trainings. Now, please listen. I wanted to take one case study here. All of you, please listen. As I mentioned that, no, it also leads to so many innovations when you go for outdoor education. So when I've been doing that, I've been interacting with some students. Some student has made some kind of, sir, can I do a cooker? Because I want to have a cooker. When I am a student, I may get a job, I go to the office, but I want to come back to the office from office and I need a hot food. If I come to college and cook the food will be, takes time. So therefore, may I have an IoT based cooker? So I think I felt that the innovation, that kind of work were, idea is good. Then we asked the student to experiment in this 1 or 2 days. So she do it to an extent, but then after that, I discussed with my team, uh, why can't we do, that is basically a cooker. Why can't I do, that was actually her idea, but then we discussed with my team, and I got certain idea where you have been practicing. You go to a coffee machine. In a coffee machine, you presses the button, you get a coffee, or you presses another button, you get a lemon tea, or you presses some other, you may get a tea. So therefore, but different buttons you press, different ingredient food will get ready and falls out. So can I have such kind of philosophy in design of my electronic cooker? So therefore, we model a smart cooker and assistive technology. Therefore, like the way I kept in mind that inclusive way where hearing impaired people or visually impaired people could able to even use that cooker. So therefore, we model it, and one of my MTech student has done that product, and still it is in the development stage. But we filed a patent on this, wherein you could have see this. There are different containers that are there. So you keep the different ingredients. It is a completely IoT based solution with app based. So you just cook, you just have a app, you just mention it how many people food you need and what food you need, and the food will be ready. Of course it need a lot of course there is a lot of restrictions because of the kind of ingredients that is needed, the kind of thing, but we are modeling and we have done to an extent an implementation, and we filed a provisional patent. So what I wanted to say with this kind of thing here is, had I been not traveling, this kind of innovation would not happen. As a collaborator, we also give a due credit to the head of the department and who has some faculty members who have interacted, helped us. So they're also be part of this kind of innovation. So I do not remember the student who actually thought of, but she thought only the cooker part. So you keep it, only you switch on later, the cooker will be on by the time. But now here, you can do even the ingredients, it will wash, it will cut, it will mix, and all the things will be done in a single way. So how did we do is, we could take the analogy of your automated coffee makers, which you feel in many shops wherever you go away. So such kind of technology might be there, but for making the food could not be there, because you need to wash it, the food, and the water should be connected, and you need to bring the ingredients in a proper order. So we made a mobile application, and we probably in another 6 months time, if things goes right, we could able to see some first prototype. This is in between the prototype, and this is a model that I have done. So I wanted to take that now. This is led. So when we travel it as a teacher, you need to see the problem and you need to translate that into an innovation. And that is the reason I wanted to mention this project as well. I think there have been so many other events, other places has been. So one of that, some of that I wanted to say. So in NCR and other parts of the country, we also been conducted. We went to one college called MLV Textile College, Bhimavaram. So this was also one of the good institute. I could see the manufacturing of a textile. It is the next textile country in the world. I mean, I think there's after Mumbai, or so this is one of the manufacturing unit for the textile. I think I wanted to say that no, in the computer science department and textile department, the students prefer in this college textile first, then computer science. Every student in textile gets multiple jobs. I think this is in countries one of the best textile engineering college. This is the oldest college, and there you will find a lot of missionaries no other institute could find there. So when I interacted with them, they have some local problems with their faculty. Unfortunately, I could not able to take up further, though there was certain lead due to various other administrative and research responsibilities. But still, I feel sorry for those people because that is still need to do some kind of work with them. Then we could able to interact with the faculty, the students. I think I will be, and then we also visited, as I want to know, we visited the local industries there, at least 2 to 3 manufacturing industries of the class I have visited, and I understood the local problems there. I think there is a lot of automation is needed. Then we have tried to do some kind of industry 4.0. So one test bed has been made, and we are trying to do some kind of innovation with that. So unless had it been visited, we would not have got such a kind of knowledge. So that led us to understand the industry 4.0, how it could help for such a company. So therefore, this is another event of there only. I think we doing the Internet of Things today. This is in NCR, some of the college in here. We might be conducted a faculty development program. So whenever we visit it, we try to see some kind of share the knowledge to others and learn certain expertise which they might have further. I see this slide. I just kept it particularly. We are trying to demonstrate the practical aspects so that as a product, so that the students could get motivation and also the faculty could get motivation. So as a part of, to us, it is an outdoor. Now, I see this in such a kind of hackathons when we try to do the student involvement actually. I think this is a real learning. So the real learning happens for the students who travel different places. So we conducted some kind of event as a hackathon, and this was done at this point of time. Uh, I think, see this participation, if we have asked some questions, the participation of the students in such kind of situations is extremely good. I think that is the motivation for us when we go ahead such programs. So this is a truly an outdoor education where the Oxford University Press wanted to do some collaboration with us for embedded systems. So Oxford University Press has invited all the faculty members and they have asked us to conduct a full day hands-on session on embedded, the book which we wanted to release. Unfortunately, we wanted to have a book along with the hardware platform. That was a model. So some faculty members, at least around 20 faculty members who actually teaching embedded systems were invited, and we have trained on this, and all the logistics has been taken care by. So it was a free environment discussing, and all the faculty as actually a true students, so that the senior professors are doing simple experiments and we've been demonstrating it. And that is actually led an outdoor education actually has to have and to be practiced. And some of the faculty was doing it. So it's just done. And it's a very basic 8051 based embedded systems practical work. So the idea is we wanted to train there. I mean, it is not that no, the student shouldn't be working on a simulation based, rather they should work in a real hardware. And this hardware, which is used for as an experimental kit, is designed and developed by us in the ETL labs. And this is the kit which we use it for teaching a very low level embedded, but the complete fundamentals could practically be demonstrated. And then so many products which were shown could be brought into this. So I think coming to the Bhimavaram collaborations which we have done, I think you might be experimenting, Professor Rajgaru. I'm saying there's another Rajgaru, there's so many Rajgaru. I mean, they were all kind enough. I could see so much of interaction. This is all possible because of Professor Ram Prasad Rao sir, who is instrumental here to visit to Delhi and spend some time. And in fact, my thesis is edited by him and helped me a lot. So with that support, we could able to make even more long collaborations further. So I think maybe so many events we have done at SRKR College for faculty, for students, some field visit. I don't know how many events I might have done. I think one thing here is the participation when they do the program is really commendable. So the faculty members also students when we do this program. So we say that, sir, let you people stop the classes on that day. So the food is served, the tea is served, and we spend in the evening. So it is completely an outdoor kind of environment. And all the people involved, and they have built the project, and we are actually evaluating, and the best project we've been trying to award, and they are also senior faculty members who were the participants and learn and done the practical aspects. So I think they have done one of the project as soil sensing and agricultural related. So this is the kind of collaboration. I think I coming to the end, but this is my heart of the place. I think this is the place where I spent my 5 years of studies. I think this is the place, ZPPH High School, GK Palli, G Kottapalli, KV Palli Mandal, Chittoor districts, where I have done my 6th standard to the 10th standard. I could see the trees which you have under the trees. We used to have so many classes, and that was a true outdoor. And maybe after 30 years, I took time to go to the school and to train that. I felt so bad for two, three things. When I was doing in 89 was my 10th class. At that time, there was about 500 to 600 students in a school. And today, I think 5 years back, this picture was around 6 years back, 5 years back picture probably. The time I visited, there was English medium and Telugu medium, both the mediums together, around 200, 250. So though the population is increasing, but the government school situation is like that. So I felt bad for that. But then when I was discussing 2 hours, and this is the place where they, the prayer was doing, and I was there in the prayer. After the prayer, I started teaching and about the real products and the smartphone kits. Basically, I asked so many questions. Many students are so eager, so enthusiasm and so knowledge they have. But then the problem is that the kind of discipline, probably the kind of environment probably needs to a big change so that this kind of students could be translated into a real productive workforce for the country. So the takeaway here is you could see these are the boards we shown them. This is actually the tab made for the kids actually. So this is another innovation that we could do. We felt that how the students should be educated and given such a people. So we could able to design low cost things and try to make them at least to see and experiment to an extent. So this is the place where the temple is there, where we used to do the prayer. So I wanted to have some memory. So I took a picture. I am sure that I spent 5 years there during my studies along with my brother who, so all of us, we studied in the same school. But then today's situation is altogether different. So I think that is the outdoor education has to be there and you should respect. And when we visited Bhimavaram, also many schools, couple of schools we visited and spent some time with the children to understand their learning. And we had a songs played. And I asked, I think I could not locate that the students have done a beautiful dance. When I asked the student, could you please do a dance? The immediately group of 10 students of 4th and 5th standard, they came up and they done a wonderful dance. So I see this kind of cultural difference. But when I asked the student to sing a song, 10 students rise, sir, I will sing a song. I mean, that kind of motivation factors could definitely help the student. And if had we not been traveled to them, probably they would not have got such kind of motivation. I'm sure that it is also for us learning. So teaching could not just happen in the indoors all the time. And you should be a first student. When I am a teacher, I should be a first student, then only be a teacher. So this is all possible with this kind of outdoor events. I think we kept it some of the IGGTU events as well. I think here you could see the STP7. I've been organizing for almost 10 years, STP 1 to STP 10. 10 STP successfully, all summers, 6 weeks I spent rigorously here, and that led us to so many other events. So after 10 years, I took break. From this summer, we could not do, but we did it virtual thing for some other event. So I thought of let me take into new era. So I stopped summer training program where we try to build and design, develop, and I think this is a major root cause for all our transformations. Okay, so I must thank my collaborators, Mr. Suresh Chande, who is instrumental from Nokia, Microsoft, who helped me a lot in this way. So I think again some outdoor from NITTR, Chandigarh, and MSRIT. This is I think one product design national conference we have done, our workshop we have done. we released, we distributed around 70 kits of my smartphone, which was sponsored by Microsoft. And I think he's the head of the department of Professor Vijay Kumar, is Professor Srinivas and Professor Nagabhushan, and he's Mr. Suresh Chande, who is from Microsoft, and he's the director of ETL Labs, Trinity Microsystems, and likewise Siva Prakash. I am sorry, his name JSS Siva Prakash, who is Dr. Siva Prakash now, recently had a very completed a doctorate and spent postdoc. And such a way, this is NITTTR. We organize so many events. Again, it is a new dimension for us. The collaboration that they have, the kind of food they have, so much of things we do that. So, lastly, I wanted to say, recently, even in COVID, just because of the kind of collaboration, outdoor education which we've been practicing, led us is our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madam Professor Amita Dev. We have organized CSCD per national webinar on IoT in practical applications in collaboration with several collaboration, even SRKR College. I think we had a talk with Professor Ram Prasad sir. I unfortunately could not put here in the slide. Maybe I just need to add and do some more people who have done. Here is Professor M. Balakrishnan sir from IIT Delhi, Professor PVM Rao sir, and Professor Amarjit Singh, who is the CTO of Genetics, is one of the core supporter and collaborator in some of the projects, and Mr. Kishore Narang from Trinity, from Nornex Technologies, who is the mentor guide, who all the time critiques us in our developments and try to say this is not what you've done, you need to do, you all the time need to keep it in the industry into your account. So he's Professor from NIT Warangal, Sai Prakash sir. So likewise, we just done plan, we requested them to have your suggestion, they were all participation. And that is helped us, I mean, to achieve so many milestones. This is all because we traveled to NIT Warangal so many times, and even Sai Prakash ji has traveled to here. I do not know how many times professors from IIT Delhi, they traveled to IGDTW for almost for last 15 years. They were supporting, guiding, and mentoring. To see, these are the three people who mentored a great extent, and today where we are, especially this lab, which is helping to the many students to achieve their PhDs, product designs, and many more practical aspects. So I have so much of things. I think while making, I done about all these things, what kind of benefits you get. I mentioned all these things rather pointing up like leadership qualities, personal growth. When I started, I am just as a lecturer, and today I am a dean examinations and 2 times the HOD. I all the time don't want the responsibility of administration, but still I do get in spite of my regret because of so many other reasons. But my focus all the time would be on the academics. But that kind of leadership also led to solve so much. And though I've been teaching here, my mind is all the time, my examinations are scheduled, and I just given a consent to the SRKR college, sir, so I could not able to take away. Otherwise, I'm so much worried about my examinations, which is supposed to be scheduled for online, starting from 19th onwards. So, but yes, this is also a part of my responsibility when I gave it. So I need to be balanced. So we could able to get an MOUs, collaborations, and many more things. So it's all because of this kind of outdoor education, actually speaking. So these have been limited. I think there are certain limitations to that. Permissions for trips. Every time, even I need to travel, I need to take the permissions from my leave. Most of the time, I sacrifice my leaves. I take it as CLs or personal leaves, and I visit it because it is my interest. So you also need to make out of that equipment and the safety. You need to make it very. So So many times I need to take the equipment. We need to be very careful about that planning, risks, cost, experience, and participatory nature. So these are the certain limitations with the outdoor education, but the kind of challenges, those limitations could be overcome by the collaboration with the right team, uh, time and efforts. You need to come out from the comfort zone. Say today is a Saturday holiday to many of our friends, but to me, tomorrow is also a working day. So that is what you should be coming out of your comfort zones. Resources in terms of money and approval, you should try to get as much as possible. You should be fund generators to the institute rather taking from. So you try to put out, you think of yourself, you are in their situation and how to generate it. So that kind of inclination should have as a teacher, as a leadership qualities and innovative qualities, a curiosity and questioning attitude, and all this will be developed just because when you practice the outdoor education. And I'm sure that we need to get the flexibility by the administration, lab infrastructure, mentorship is also, as I mentioned. So all these kind of challenges I come across has been overcome throughout my presentation. I try to explain to you. So the recommendations, as I mentioned, you need to practices, visit your fields and make your observations, conceptualize solutions, and discuss with the problems faced by the end users and provide the solutions. Interaction with students. As we do that, there are several students who also do some some thesis work, be it BTech, UG, PG from different other parts of the country. Encourage the student innovations and mentoring. I think right persons in their advice. I think they may have follow. I think I written something wrong. Follow the right persons and their advices. So I kindly correct me here. Come out from the comfort zone. I think definitely to make such outdoor education possible. If you wish that outdoor education you want, you need to first come out from this comfort zone and will lead to the success. So believe yourself and work beyond your comfort zone to focus on effective teaching with practical aspects that will lead with the help of outdoor learning. Work towards research grants, as I mentioned, innovation involved to lead innovations. I think industry collaborations towards that. That's the kind of other outdoor education. Many opportunities will come to you. Should be a problem solver. I think all the time when problem comes up, we feel it. Many of us feel it. It's not my problem, but you as a institute stakeholder, you it is all responsibility. We should also take our responsibility when you involve it. Definitely, many qualities which needs to have as a uh, thing you will be able to get, and then you will be able to get good PhDs and good IPR generation. I think because I had a good videos to show you, but since the time is one factor, so I could not able to show that videos. But yes, I try to convey what I mean to present. But I must acknowledge this work is not by me, rather it is all by my students who has really contributed by their work and involvement, many project staff, mentors, which I named some of them. I named the collaborators and industry partners and IGDTU family because without their approval, without their generous support and trust on us, they moving from government university away, it is very difficult for us. So I must acknowledge all the contributions made by these people in order to deliver this session. Because of their support, I could able to make it out of. I felt it is it how do I spend 2 hours time actually when Sar is mentioning 2 hours. One hand I have to do so much work, and the other hand the content what to be made for the outdoor education. But then I realized looking into that, then I thought of yes, I can make it. So then finally I just kept a couple of I thought of giving so many references from other sources, but then I stopped because I have my own resources. So therefore I switched off it. So I think I wanted to take a quick questions before I go for thanks. So, sir, now question answers, please.
Participants, please, if you have any queries, please raise your hand. Ala, please try to interact with sir. Yes, anybody?
You can chart with any questions. If there is any questions, I think I will be looking from the chart box. So if you have no questions, I just want a couple of, yeah, I think there is some questions came. Let me see this. Bhagya Prasad, you can post your questions in this chat box. Okay. Yeah. So anybody have any questions or any suggestions or any feedback, please share it. Because no, this feedback, very critical feedback helps both the ways. So if you don't give a feedback, then I will give you feedback.
Good evening, sir. I am KVS and Raju.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Please, sir.
Nice to see you after a long time online.
Thank you.
So Ram Prasad could not get the link today, I think. So he was also interested to attend your lecture.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So we had very interesting session. I just wanted to just tell you that one, and especially now your real life experiences will definitely help all the participants. And see, people have to, as you suggested, people have to come out of their comfort zone, and one should be a problem solver. Thank you, sir, for your valuable suggestions. I just wanted to add this comment.
Thank you for your remarks, sir. Thank you very much. It is nice to physically see and interact and see so much of further learnings to take this collaboration further, sir. And we are eagerly waiting.
All our activities started with your initiative, and our staff member, one Chalpati Raju, came to IIT Delhi, and you have taken personal interest. We are very much thankful to you for that, sir.
Thank you so much.
That was the starting point for us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other questions? So,
Any queries from participants?
I think they may be tired with so much of work, probably. I just have a couple of questions. I think today is the last program. I think this is a very innovative way the program has been adopted in the ECE department. Actually, I must thank the entire department, the adopted departments, the faculty, the coordinators. I think I learned the teamwork where the SRKR college, the management, and from top to the bottom, including the student. I think that is the one thing which is a very appreciated, and all the time we learn from you, sir, and also the kind of hospitality. I think the program which says this title to me. Let me go back to my slide, which was my first slide. I need to stop sharing. The social responsibility, let me take, this is personal social relation development. I see this, the title is very met objectives in my presentation. I had a very good, strong personal relationship at many institutions because of the outdoor education I have shown you, and the social relationships that we have established, some of the students guiding together, the patents together, writing the research paper together. Not only that, the relationship development led us some MOUs, some IPR, some lab development, and also many conference and events to organize. So I think I do not need anything other than the title really fits to the work which has been uh, shared to you. Let me take, there is some question coming up. I think this was a thank you, sir, for your informative session. I think this is in from, yeah, Dr. So any suggestions if you have, please let me take up. I'll take a couple of minutes if any participants want to share. Did this title met your expected outcome? I think you may be sharing the feedback to the institute, but I wish I never thought this title. This is the first one which I've been doing it, though combining so much of work which we've been doing for the almost 10 years. I wish to seek quick feedback from some of you. Let's say out of 100, I wish I in this no in the online classes to teach. I ask at the end of the class, kindly rate the class. So I think the feedback I expect to know how many real participants are participating in this program. So I want to count the real participants will give you me the answer to this question. Please put on the chart box out of 100, how much percentage does this session met your expectations? So, sir, please take the attendance by the people who actually put the chart. Doesn't matter, I'm not going to give them marks if they put the whatever the grades. So it is just to know to me as a curiosity required for the session. I want to see the curiously how much expected outcomes of this session met by me to the participants. So please take the participants only attendance whoever gives the feedback here. So I just give us 2 minutes time. Somebody started with some percentage. Please everyone, I wish to see the percentage here. And I request Nagaraj sir to give the, consider the attendance only for those people who give the percentage. Please, let us say for it 1.5 minutes.
Sure, sir. Sure. In the meanwhile time, one of the person, Lalit Mohan sir.
You can do the privately. I think that's a good way. You can give privately so that probably it will be visible to one. I think somebody is asking Lalit Mohan, is remote healthcare is helpful in COVID-19? So this remote healthcare was done for congenital heart disease in newborn babies. So this is not to deal with the COVID because we've been doing it for last 15 years. Definitely some technology can help for the COVID as well, but not complete. So our aim was for detecting the congenital heart diseases in newborn babies. So therefore, it is not directly led to the COVID-19. I think so. I could able to see the feedback probably from 10 participants only, sir. I think you should give the attendance for only these 10 people, and those
Yes, sir.
there was about list shows one hour they may be away from the session. So I strongly feel that no, those if you're still there, please give the feedback. For school teachers, there is a B.Ed education, but for UG teachers, any such things? Madhu Vallava is asking me this question. I think for UG teachers, I am really not in education department. Probably I may not have right answer to you, madam. I feel that B.Ed, maybe M.Ed is there, I guess. B.Ed, M.Ed, I'm not very sure. So probably I request you can Google it uh, for UG students. Actually, for UG students, we use it basically for net qualified candidates is a mandate, UGC net. So that kind of standard we use it for generally. I think, sir, I still get another 20, maximum 20 people. I think, let me, it is really helpful, sir. Sivani Kumari, madam is writing. It was really very nice, impressive session. It is practical knowledge. TK, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. It's very informative, almost 95% outcome. Thank you, Lalit Mohan Satpathy. Thank you very much. So please share if there is any suggestions also, so that we can definitely improve it. So last 30 seconds. So please, those people who have still not given, may request to share your feedback. Sir, I will share this feedback to you and kindly consider them as an attendance.
Sure, sir.
And others probably you can discard those who have not given it, because this is a real feedback. I'll share as it is. It is just to see how much participation the people were there. I think we can, Ravi Kumar Reddy is asking for some research work in intelligent sensors. Probably we can discuss it. You can take my number, you Google it, email ID you will get. You can write me a mail. We will definitely share some information. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Last 10 seconds, I think I'm going to share this feedback straight away to Sir Nagaraj sir to consider the attendance for only to these people who have given the feedback. Last
Sure,
10 seconds. Okay, I think so I take this opportunity once again. Thanks all the coordinators. I know, sir, you might have put a lot of efforts for organizing. It was a long-term plan. I try to put my as far as possible. I almost spent 10 to 15 hours to prepare the slides because of the topic I was not earlier having, though we had. So, but it was also enlightened to me because what exactly I learned, what mean is outdoor education and what kind of merits, demerits, and what it has to be done, how it has to be done. Am I doing? Then going into that, it really enlightened me that no. So this program also educated me, though I am the speaker for this particular talk, but really because of this program, I got to know the outdoor education. I once again thank all the head of the departments, faculty, and the coordinators, sir, and especially Nagaraj sir, who is coordinating me for time to time without any problem. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind cooperation and support, and that is the involvement of the faculty and faculty of SRKR College. I think that is witness to you for this top institute, one of the top institute from the Andhra Pradesh. I would like to see that even better place and best place. With this, I take permission for further to have our program, and I will be sharing this feedback. I think, sir, I'm just saving this feedback. So in a folder to
Directly you can WhatsApp me, sir.
how could I share, sir? I mean,
Through WhatsApp, sir. Through WhatsApp.
no, I need
Please
to
save it in your desktop.
Save chart. It is coming up. Chart saved. Where it is saved, I do not know.
In chat only, three dots is there, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
In that save chat.
Yeah, that has done. That will save it in some desktop or how?
Show in folder that most probably in documents, sir. Documents.
Achha. Okay, sir.
My documents or something.
My documents.
In documents in Zoom folder, sir.
In Zoom folder. Documents in Zoom
folder. So I need to go to the Zoom folder.
In documents, sir. First of all,
in documents, need to
documents in Zoom folder.
Zoom folder.
Yeah. Documents I went. There is Zoom folder. Is in this, madam, where I could see. I think 17. Today is 10/17.
Meeting and underscore.
Yes, sir. I got it. I got, sir. I am just saying. I think there is some more people have done this. Let me take all together. Chart. Okay. Yeah. So now I am through with this, sir. I think most of the people have given. I'm just save chart done. I am going to share it to you through mail, sir.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, and I wish all the best for the participants. And I hope that you should take this kind of learnings and practice it at your place. And wish you all the best, and hope that you and your family members staying safe and peace. And I'm sure that every one of us need to practice the outdoor education. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
We sincerely thank Dr. S.R. Reddy Garu for readily accepting our invitation and sharing your knowledge, sir, which was an informative and interactive session, sir. I also thank you for your motivating, enlightening, and entertaining presentation, sir. Hope this session is full of incredible information and everybody got an insight about how to this outdoor education can be useful for personal, social, and relational development. Thank you very much, sir. We shall soon begin our validatory function. Sir, Dr. S.R. Reddy Garu, if you are interested, you please continue with this session, sir.
No, sir. I will take your with permission because my works are well. Sir, please carry on. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Very good evening, one and all. Myself, G. Nagaraju, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of ECE, SRKR Engineering College, and coordinator for this program. AACT sponsored a 1-week